Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the topic of father of science. Galileo was born in Pisa, then part of the Duchy of Florence, Italy, on 15th of February 1564, the first of six children of Vincenzo Galilei, a lutenist, composer, and music theorist, and Giulia Eminati, who had married in 1562. Galileo became an accomplished lutenist himself, and would have learned early from his father a skepticism for established authority. Three of Galileo's five siblings survived infancy. The youngest, Michelangelo, or Michelangelo, also became a lutenist and composer who added to Galileo's financial burdens for the rest of his life. When Galileo Galilei was 8, his family moved to Florence, but he was left under the care of Muzio Tedaldi for 2 years. He was educated, particularly in logic, from 1575 to 1578 in the Vallombrosa Abbey, about 30 kilometers southeast of Florence. Galileo has been called the father of observational astronomy, modern-era classical physics, the scientific method, and modern science. Galileo studied speed and velocity, gravity and free fall, the principle of relativity, inertia, projectile motion, and also worked in applied science and technology, describing the properties of the pendulum and hydrostatic balances. He was one of the earliest Renaissance developers of the thermoscope and the inventor of various military compasses, and used the telescope for scientific observations of celestial objects. With an improved telescope he built, he observed the stars of the Milky Way, the phases of Venus, the four largest satellites of Jupiter, Saturn's rings, lunar craters, and sunspots. He also built an early microscope. Galileo's championing of Copernican heliocentrism was met with opposition from within the Catholic Church and from some astronomers. The matter was investigated by the Roman Inquisition in 1615, which concluded that his opinions contradicted accepted biblical interpretations. Galileo later defended his views in Dialogue concerning the two chief world systems, 1632, which appeared to attack Pope Urban VIII and thus alienated both the Pope and the Jesuits, who had both supported Galileo up until this point. He was tried by the Inquisition, found vehemently suspect of heresy, and forced to recant. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest. During this time he wrote two new sciences, 1638, primarily concerning kinematics and the strength of materials, summarizing work he had done around 40 years earlier. Galileo continued to receive visitors until his death on 8 January 1642, aged 77, following a fever and heart palpitations. The Grand Duke of Tuscany, Ferdinando II, wished to bury him in the main body of the Basilica of Santa Croce, next to the tombs of his father and other ancestors, and to erect a marble mausoleum in his honor. He was reburied in the main body of the basilica in 1737, after a monument had been erected there in his honor. During this move, 3 fingers and a tooth were removed from his remains. One of these fingers is currently on exhibition at the Museo Galileo in Florence, Italy.